So, so welcome back to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So earlier I was live, kind of like, it was kind of like a talk rant. I was like just speaking my speak about how I feel about certain things pertaining to um, energy work and payment and things like that. It's just the world seems to have gone bonkers. And there's so many other things that can be discussed. There's like so many other things that probably need our attention that it's become, I don't know, it's almost like there are things in this world that want to try and distract, want to try and amplify separation. And if we're going to allow it, then that's what's going to happen. And we really have no one else to blame but ourselves. If this is something we allow, it's something we are perpetuating. It is something we are complicit in. So, should people who have abilities and gifts be compensated for their time? Some people would say no. Some people would say yes. Some people mind their own damn business. I'm just saying, some people mind their own damn business. But, I could totally see the flip side of this conversation, because there are those who are totally taking advantage of other people's lack of knowing, who are totally making promises on things they absolutely cannot deliver on. And there's a lot of communication that needs to take place when you're seeking out someone to assist you, to facilitate in your self-healing journey. But the fact is this: no matter what, whether you do it alone, whether you do it with others assisting you, it's your journey. It is your journey. You're responsible for yourself. You are responsible for learning whatever it is you're supposed to learn, whatever it is you're having a hard time learning, whether you choose to give up on that, whether you choose to continue. I mean, the decision is all yours. The decision is all yours. So if you are doing what you, I guess, need to do in order to provide for yourself, does that include taking advantage of other people? Does that include you calculating sales and using that, the sales aspect of it, the numbers, the number crunching? Are you using that as a justification for profiting off of other people's suffering? Or is this simply what you're supposed to do? This is a part of your soul purpose. Whatever services you provide is a part of your soul purpose. And as you fulfill your purpose is also helping you to sustain yourself. Hold on really quick. Forgot to tap into that. Thank you. Yeah, so these are things we really need to consider. Another thing that I kind of wanted to share. Hold on. I want to get off that donut seat. It felt weird. Another thing that I wanted to share. This is something that is a part of my purpose. This is something that I've known for some time now. I've really struggled with this sense of knowing, simply because I know how other people think. Before, I didn't want to be seen as a bad person. I didn't want to be seen in this way or that way. And now I'm kind of like, I am who I am. I have a really good heart. I'm very patient, loving, kind, generous, all these wonderful things. If people want to continue to think of me in a bad way, fuck it. Let them. Let them. I got nothing left to prove. All my energy is going to go towards fulfilling my purpose. And what is that purpose? Part of it is acquiring a large amount of wealth. Why is that? Is it just because I want to be wealthy? Or is it because a part of me, an intrinsic part of me, has no desire to hold on to that wealth? And if I become wealthy, I can then disperse it through the people of the world. So what I'm being what I'm being encouraged, that's even worse. What I'm being encouraged to share at this point is the way the world changes is not by vilifying getting rid of money. For much of my life, I have very devoutly believed that money is the root of all evil, and it's not. You are the root of your evil. It's not something outside of you. We need to take accountability for ourselves, for the way we choose to behave. I had a conversation not that long ago, a few months back, and I came to the conclusion that money doesn't change you. It doesn't. It just makes it a lot easier for you to be who you actually are. So now that I've come to that realization about myself, and that's one of the reasons why I was so like, oh my God, I hate money. I don't ever want to be rich. All of this, this belief to keep me entrapped in a system that wants and needs me trapped so that I don't fulfill my purpose and help to liberate the people I promised I would assist. And what ended up happening with me thinking that money is evil and that if I allow myself to become wealthy, it's going to change me and I don't want to be like that. No, it's never going to change me. I'm always going to be who I am. I am who I am. And the more money, to me, the way I see it, more money in my pocket means I can help more people now. If I was the kind of person that would be negatively affected by the acquiring of wealth, you would see me in all kind of labels. My pants, y'all, this from Walmart. My shirt, it was on sale at Walmart. And I really don't give a shit. My whole outfit is Walmart right now. It works. It's comfortable. And now I have more funds to help other people. So that's the thing. What ends up happening when the world changes? The ones in control will be able to dictate how it changes, what direction humanity will go. The logic of you are part of the problem if you allow yourself to receive money is the very thing that has kept us from getting there. Could you imagine if people who shared my integrity and my purpose acquired so much wealth? We are now the 1%. And the 1% who are just hell-bent on getting more wealthy, they're displaced. We'd have so much money to give away. We'd have an endless supply of funds to take care of needs that shouldn't have to be paid for. We can make healthcare free. We could make education free. And that's how we get rid of currency, not by vilifying it, but by using it as a tool to be the very damn thing that sets us free. So really, really pay attention to whatever it is you're subscribing to. What belief structure do you believe in? What school of thought? And I'm not going to ream you. Not too hard, at least. I'm not going to ream you if you also believe that if it's a gift, you shouldn't be paid for it. If it's a gift, if that's how you feel, then that's how you feel. It's perfectly okay. You're allowed to feel however you feel. You're allowed to have your own opinions. But I feel like it's just something that needs to be talked about at this point, where we don't just quietly quake in our booties just because someone has a very intense opinion. Well, how does that serve you? You don't have to agree with me. This place is probably one of the safest spaces you could ever have, where you can just speak your mind, where you can share thoughts that you can't share with other people. So, what is it? What do you believe? Do you believe that if creation gifts you something, that you are now obligated to give it away to everyone, leaving nothing for yourself? Does that make sense to you? I subscribed to that logic for so long, so hardcore, to the point where for a very long time, I did not disclose that I was living in a parking lot. I have no shame for my history. I was technically homeless, living in a parking lot, live streaming every day, not saying a peep. Not because I'm ashamed, but because I saw nothing wrong with it. It felt right. It felt like it was going to teach me something. And you know what it taught me? It taught me I wasn't allowing myself to receive martyrdom as manipulation. I don't want to be a manipulator. Before I could learn that, I had to experience a specific event. My husband was working this job at some office. I forget where it was. We were in Colorado at the time. And one of his coworkers, who he didn't know too much, she was at risk of becoming homeless. She needed $700 to cover what was short for her rent. The way we saw it, my husband and I, we saw it as we're in an RV. It's old as fuck and leaks from bumper to bumper. We have no water. We have no toilet. It's okay. We have a roof over our heads and our kids are happy. They're literally happy. Let's help her. So I went on a live stream. And during that live stream, Michael admitted to me that he intentionally broke my brakes the moment he had me cross into the state of Colorado. You cannot drive an RV out of Colorado with faulty brakes. You can't. It's all fucking mountains. And so what happened? For the first time ever, I broke down publicly. And I cried. I cried because I felt betrayed. And of all the times to be honest with me and reveal something that would make me feel betrayed, why while I'm live streaming? Why? Because people needed to see this person that they pegged as someone who has their shit together actually doesn't. Because there's power in vulnerability. And as people began to realize, oh shit, that's why she live streams in parks all the time. That's why she live streams in Starbucks all the time. They began to ask me what I needed. What would fix my situation? $1,500 is what it would take to repair brake lines on an RV that age. They wanted to know what I needed in that moment. What would soothe my heart that appeared to be so fucking destroyed. I needed $700 for my husband's coworker that he doesn't really know because I don't want her to be homeless. In that moment, that's what I needed. Money won't change you. It'll make you better able to be who you actually are. It makes it easier for you to be either selfish or generous, whichever it is. It's who you actually are. It's not about money is evil. It's taken me so long to repair my relationship with money. It's taken so long. I've been through so much. Good times, bad times, struggles, excess, feast or famine. I've been through all of it. And through it all, I haven't changed. Parts of me have. They've expanded. But the core of who I am hasn't changed. I will always be a very loving, very generous, very patient, very supportive human being. No amount of money or lack thereof will change that. I didn't become more selfish being homeless. Became more aware. I became more aware of the gravity of what I'm here to do. Allow myself to dilate wide open those pathways of abundance. I'm supposed to be filthy fucking rich in this life. So I can buy a mansion? No. Not unless that mansion is going to house homeless people. Is it so I can eat fancy foods? No. Not unless that fancy food is going to feed the hungry. This is who I am. You shouldn't feel ashamed for earning a living wage. You shouldn't feel ashamed for setting a price of value for your service and having other people agree with that value. There's nothing wrong with abundance. It doesn't matter who says it. All that matters is you recognize what's in your heart. All that matters is you recognize what you're here to do. Slowly, surely, I'll get back on track. Slowly, surely, more funds will find its way to me. Slowly, surely, those funds will bring to fruition the sanctuary that I know I'm here to create. I'm not the only one that's supposed to create it. If we can see that the things that society tells us is bad, the things that society tells us is the root of the problem, is it the root of the problem or is your response to the problem the issue? Which one is it? I'm so sick of these. Hold on. Let me just, I gotta take care of this really quick because it's so sick. There are people who create accounts that utilize pictures of exposed, especially Asian women, and use it to try and, where is it? Where is it? I guess YouTube disallowed it. So money is sort of a great clarifier. I agree. Money can help clarify for you all the things that you have wondered about yourself. I'm no rich. I'm not rich by any means. I'm not. I've had enough though to know what it feels like to not be worried about groceries, to not be worried about the basic things in life. I'm not going to be worried about, oh my God, I need those shoes. I need that purse. If you're like that, hey, as long as you love yourself, as long as you're not hurting other people to get that which you covet, it's fine. It's fine. I know plenty of people who are materialistic and they're beautiful people. Still loving, still kind. Not to everyone. But I've seen it. I've seen their heart. I see their potentiality. I have nothing bad to say. If you enjoy, if you appreciate fashion, if you appreciate designer things, it doesn't make you a bad person. Just like it doesn't make me a bad person to be compensated for my time, appropriately compensated, appropriately. I look at these people who they're trying to build something for themselves, and I applaud that. They're trying to build something for themselves, and so they do readings. And I primarily see it with readings. I can't think of anyone who does energy work. Um, but they do readings for a donation on a donation basis. Do any of you do readings for donations? Like, donate whatever you feel, and I'll do the reading regardless of the amount. Do any of you do that? Because if any of you do that, what kind of donations do you get? Do you even get donations? I was once structured like that. And I would do energy work. I would do readings. I would do spiritual bridge communications. I would talk to your deceased relatives or whoever you're wanting or needing to talk to. I would offer my entire service menu, basically, for donation basis. And I would be live streaming for between 4 and 6 hours straight. Now, I wasn't doing this for profit. Ask me how many people donated. 6 hours straight. How many people felt that it was fair to just take from you? And granted, you're offering. There's no victim there, you're offering. But how many people just took, where there was no consideration of, damn, you put a lot of effort and energy into what you're doing for me. I want to be able to, like, within reason, compensate you for this. I'm grateful. And it's okay, again, because I wasn't doing that to pay for groceries, to pay for gas. I wasn't doing that for that. You have to understand, people will only rise with you as far as you expect them to. And if that expectation leaves room for question, they're probably going to question. Oftentimes, when you don't want to accept that you deserve to receive, it blocks the entire flow of your financial sustenance. Y'all, some people think like, oh, you're a YouTuber, you got some sort of fault. You know how much these videos make? Are y'all kidding me? On average, I think the videos, I don't have high viewership, but the videos, I want to say no more than $5. Something like that. I don't know. Something like that. Do I do this to get paid? No. Mm-mm. I do this to create space and share of my truth and allow you to share of yours. Does it make me any less because I have an actual job? And my job uses my gifts? Does it make a doctor any less because they're medically gifted, went and got formal training, and now they have that MD behind their name? Does that make them less? You took a Hippocratic oath. You made an oath to do no harm. And what if that person does not have the money to pay for your services and has no insurance? Isn't that harm? How are they going to pay for your services? So I was out in Texas a few years back, and my youngest has very delicate health. And I don't know what we inhaled. I don't know if it was the dust pollen he hadn't been introduced to before. There was something that was inhaled, and he got a wicked cold. He caught a cold, and it's usually not a problem so long as we suppress his asthma. Didn't realize my inhaler, his inhaler, was expired. He hadn't been sick in a long time. And I had to go get another prescription. You can't just get an inhaler. Albuterol is a controlled substance. And so I had to go get a prescription. So I figured, oh, I'll just go to the ER, explain to them the situation. They can listen to his lungs to verify. I also have the old box, and they'll just write me a prescription. And then they told me, oh, let's start a breathing treatment, which I have the nebulizer. I just needed the prescription to be filled. And then they had me wait there with him for about an hour. And then the doctor comes in, listens to his lungs. Oh, everything's improved. So looks like he'll be needing a refill on the prescription. Yes, doctor, that's why we came in. All I needed was the prescription. I know I can handle this at home. We got a bill. That one breathing treatment while we waited, which had I known, I would have been like, no, just write us the prescription. I'll do that at home because I have the machine. That cost us $1,200 out of pocket. Had no insurance. Couldn't afford it. So that's some shit, isn't it? That's some shit. Do no harm. I'd like to think that harm extends to every aspect. Yeah. Not just albuterol, but the financial aspect. Like, why is our ability to order our own tests taken away? Our ability to purchase our own medication taken away? Why are we separated from that? In many third world countries, you can purchase your own medication over the counter. Things that are prescribed. Bumbaclat Hippocratic. It's making me itch. It's making me itch. Yeah, no, I mean, again, my kids have very complex health. And one of my other children, I was concerned about liver enzymes. I had diagnosed him myself with celiac disease. Went to his doctor when I found grape-sized lymph nodes, his groins, back of his head. And I was telling the doctor, the pediatrician, I'm really concerned. He has all the symptomatic presentation of celiac disease. No, I don't think this runs in our family. I don't know anyone that's complained about this in my family. And I would like his liver panel run. She told me my child had cancer. She instructed me to go see the doctors, a specialist at Oakland Children's Hospital. She said my son had leukemia. And I was like, I don't think so. It doesn't feel like leukemia to me. And she goes, we have to be very responsible and very aggressive about our approach. He needs to see a specialist ASAP. And I said, okay, I'll do that. But humor me. Order that liver panel. Go ahead and send me wherever else. But kindly order that liver panel. Which is fine because we had state-sponsored insurance at the time. Order where the fuck you want, girl. My tax dollars is paying. And so we go to the Children's Hospital in Oakland. We go to oncology. Specialist comes in, takes a look at him, looks at his labs, looks at his lymph nodes. She goes, okay, mommy, tell me what's going on. I said, okay, well, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not licensed or trained. But based on the symptomatic presentation, I'd say this is celiac disease, left undiagnosed. She goes, well, what are the symptoms? Told her all the symptoms. She goes, that sounds like celiac disease. And then I asked her, did his liver panel come in? Did the results come in? And She was like, whoa. And I said, it's elevated, huh? She goes, yeah. How'd you know that? I said, that's one of the key things you see when someone's left undiagnosed for celiac disease. And she goes, well, clearly he does not have cancer. And clearly your doctor should have listened to you. I said, thank you. I had to come here in order for her to order that liver panel. So what's really more harmful? Me being proactive, me helping encourage and inspire and empower people to also be proactive in their self-healing journey. And yes, getting compensated for that. Or me not giving a shit. Me waiting for someone else to tell me what to give a shit about. There's nothing about me that's more powerful than you. You have the ability to question and think for yourself. All this information that the doctors have that they memorized from school, I mean, I applaud them. That's a huge commitment and accomplishment. But all of this information that they have and use for your medical treatment is available at your fingertips. If you know what symptoms to look for, you'll know what to ask for. Because guess what? Hold on, let me put down the umbrella. If you know what to ask for, you know what to advocate for. So this same pediatrician, bless her heart, I came back to her after seeing the oncologist. Oh my, mommy, I'm so glad. He's negative for cancer. Absolutely nothing to worry about that. There's no leukemia. We really dodged. Like, bitch, please. She goes, now I have something else I'm really, really worried about. I went ahead and ordered a liver panel, and I'm so glad I ordered it because his enzymes are quadruple what it should be. And I was like, oh, really? I'm so glad I thought of it. Oh, good. Yeah, I mean, if you need the credit, go ahead. So where are we going from here? Because now I'm irritated with you because you wasted my fucking time. She's like, well, I suspect this might be a disease called celiac disease. Are you familiar? Bitch, please. I said that to you at her appointment. The same appointment where you told me no, that my child has cancer. Ooh. Yeah, I'm like, bitch. And to which she said, we need to do biopsies. We have to do biopsies of his small intestine and see. And then, we'll take it from there. And I said, okay, so how do we prepare for that? Well, you would have to make sure that he continues to consume gluten for the next 3 weeks so we get an accurate testing. You want me to give gluten to a celiac? Yes, it's the only way to get accurate testing. And the accuracy is now up to 65%. I was like, okay, so what with a diagnosis, when he gets the official diagnosis, what would be the care plan? What's the treatment plan for that? Well, of course, you would abstain from gluten. Any medications? No, you just abstain from gluten. So you want me to feed my child gluten so I can know if he needs to abstain from gluten? You lost your cock-ass fucking mind at this point. I have no more patience for you. You have lost your cock-ass fucking mind telling me to feed a child gluten who has an autoimmune condition that causes his body to attack itself after he eats gluten. Whew, good God. What's more harmful? Me providing an opportunity to encourage, inspire, and empower you on your self-healing journey and being compensated less than what a doctor is. Or paying for that bullshit because they have the MD after their name. Well, I have initials after my name too. F you. That was a good one. Michael doesn't think I'm funny, but fuck him too. Hold on. I don't know. I just feel like the world is so backwards at this point. I don't understand why people can't understand. It's when those who, like me, have integrity, have no attachment to money, when we become the wealthy, we free the world. I don't understand why people don't understand that. I don't understand why they cannot see that they are promoting the very draconian measures that they are publicly stating that they are against and here to fight. Light warriors, I think that's what they call themselves. You're attacking the people who are born to do this, to do the very thing that you are claiming you're going to do. That's how the world has changed. If we live in a world where money is power, give the money to the people who don't want the power so they can distribute it across the board. That's how we change the world. We don't need leaders. We need people who believe they are our equals. As long as I have, you have too. That's how I feel. Went to Rite Aid, or was it CVS? I don't know. Went to one of those places after my brother's hospital appointment. Had to go get his prescription. On my way in, someone stops me. Hey, me and my wife were out of gas. Honey, I don't need to hear the story. Only had $20 bills from when my husband shoved cash in my purse. Here, you asked me for $1. All I have is a 20. Get a full tank. It's not a full tank in California, but get whatever you can. It's not a big deal to me. And it's not a big deal not because I'm wealthy, because I'm so far from wealthy. It's not a big deal because I understand. It's not a big deal because to me, if I have, it's in my hands so I can help you. So what happens when I finally step into my role of being one of the wealthiest people on earth? I'm still going to buy clothes for dirt ass cheap. I'm still going to drive a cheap ass car. I'm still going to live in a regular ass house. Still going to run my own errands, and I'm still going to feed people along the way. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me at all. I don't care what your story is. All I care about is that you are in front of me with a need and I have the ability to provide for that need. So let me do my job. Let me provide. And if people need to vilify me because I work for myself so I can earn enough to provide for others, crucify me, boo. I ain't got time for it. I ain't got time for it. Then just crucify me. It's fine. And while you're busy crucifying me, so long as my arms are functional, I will continue to give. I will continue to work and I will continue to give. And then when I can't anymore, someone else will take my place in that job of giving. And I'm not just going to give and give and give to whoever tells me they need it. I'm going to give to whom my heart instructs me to. And until I am wealthy enough to be able to give to whoever it don't really matter, then I'm going to continue to just give to those whom my heart instructs me to. There's nothing evil about money. The evil is in your roots. If there's no evil in the roots, the tree will not grow in an evil way. The tree will not know how to exist in an evil manner. It's all within you. That's just like dark arts. What is dark arts? It's magic. Is all magic evil? No. What's evil is the intent. What's dark is the intent. Are you using this ability to hurt someone else? To profit off someone else? Because if you are, that's evil. It's evil. Evil is a human concept that exists only on this earth. It's true. So what do I mean? That means because I operate primarily from soul, even though I'm in body, primarily my actions are not evil. There's no potentiality for evil. And if you're one of those people who have always never fit in, have always felt weird, have always felt different, you're probably primarily soul too. That's why it's hard for you to connect. That's why it's hard for you to understand. Like, I have had so many nights where I just cry because I don't understand why people can allow other people to hurt the way they do. Like I've said before, someone's commented, "Ooh, Emmie, you're such an angry person." Yeah, why the fuck are you not? I'm not angry for myself. No one's hurting me. No one's taking from me. No one's bombing my children. So why am I angry? Because I see other people suffering through that. I see people who are my equals in my eyes, and they are suffering through that. Why? Because someone outside of them told them they weren't enough. They weren't worth it. They didn't deserve it. Wow. Someone outside of you telling you that? Wow. And you listened? Wow. Well, let me do something to fucking correct that shit, because that's not okay. And that's the problem. Until it happens to you, it's okay. It's not a big deal. It's someone else. It's because they're weird. It's because, they're on that part of the world. They're on that side of the planet. It's because this is that side. How's it feel now with Corona? We all on the same side. How's it feel now? Oh, now we all angry, huh? Now we're all angry. Now we all are starting to understand some of the crazy ass shit other people experience in this world. And so as we begin to understand, we begin to expand our consciousness. And as we begin to expand our consciousness, what happens? The ones who have the appearance of elevated spiritual standing, but only do so because the ego is feeding the ego. Let's activate those. Wolves in sheep's clothing. Let's activate those. And let's get the sheep back in place. Let's do that. Too many people are rising up, understanding the truth of their power, the gifts and abilities they were born with. It's going active because of all of this trauma-induced accretion. You can only flood a morphogenetic template so much before it activates things. Things that those in power would like to stay dormant. So then what now? All the shamans are waking up. That cracks me up. Because when all the shamans wake up, this world has no choice but to change. So that's what's happening. So you get the false shamans to shame the rest of the shamans. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard witnessing this process of rebirth. It's really, really hard. Because I see where I've fought with myself. I see where I've struggled. And those are the very things that I've gone out of my way to empower. And the hardest part about this is witnessing other people follow that same path that I was on, where they're still in the early stages of recognizing the truth of their gifts and how their gifts are supposed to give to them primarily before it gives to other people. And seeing those who have gained some sort of elevated favor in their mind, seeing the people they favor say things that invalidate their instruction from soul. I mean, I've gone through that. I know what that's like. And if I wasn't as strong and stubborn as I am, if I wasn't as rebellious and defiant as I am, I don't know that I would have survived that. I'm pretty sure I would have shrunk back down and listened, because, I mean, this person has all this like LSD art on their page. Like they quote Osho and Rumi, and they know about like transmutation and mental alchemy. I don't even know what the fuck these things are. And you know, Kathara and Kelantic science, shit, they must know what they're talking about. I'm fucking evil and I'm greedy and I'm selfish. You're not. You're not. Find that defiance in you. Find that defiance in you. Let it accumulate in your finger and lift it up. Because fuck that shit. Unless they're going to provide for you, they get no fucking say in you working and earning a living wage. Mic drop. I had 2 mics. They're both dropped. Unless they are going to be contributing to your well-being, providing food, providing shelter, providing whatever basic needs you have, they can kindly shut the fuck up. Remember, collect all of that in the middle finger and lift it. Praise their stupidity. Like, fuck that shit. For real. How many people went out of their way to provide for me as I lived in a parking lot? Two. One person provided me $200 without me asking, because they knew I could grow their audience, which I did. The other person provided me $100 because he's been homeless and he appreciates my friendship and he knows I'd never ask. And so now he's just going to give. You will always have those types of people in your life. There will always be 2 types. One who gives, and one who gives because they expect something in return. I'm thankful for both. I'm absolutely thankful for both. Because although it sounds really disgusting to know people are like that, like, fuck, he reached out when you were at your lowest because he fucking wanted to own you, which is the truth of it. That's what happened. Mm-hmm. And because I was still in here at a place where, oh my God, they have this following and they sound spiritual and it looks good. And it's like, there's no way they'd be like that. But you know, there is a way. And they are like that. And in that moment, I realized what that $200 was. That was me being bought and paid for. Let that sink in. Was it more valuable to receive $200 and have sold myself? Or the $100 that this individual who has been homeless, who didn't have the $100 to give me, gave? They gave everything they could. Which one carries more value? Both. This one taught me about friendship. This one taught me about the truth of the human heart, the truth of integrity. This one, the $100 one, convicted felon, former drug addict. Beautiful heart. That one's valuable too, because it taught me about myself. If you're going to buy me, There's not enough money in this world. No matter your budget, you can't afford what I bring. I'm not for sale. And so what ended up happening down the line, and I knew it. That's why as soon as, I think it was maybe a few weeks, not even a few weeks, I was still in a parking lot. I paid his ass back. Like, take it back. Take it back. And then in a few months, it played out just like I saw it would. Exactly the way I saw it would. Down to the T, where they went and told their large following how they are no longer allowed to interact with Emmie from Emmie Evolving. Keep your fucking cult. I don't give a shit. I'm not here for followers. I'm here to share my truth with no shame or hesitation. Whoever chooses to walk beside me is beside me. I don't want anyone to follow behind me. So where I'm walking towards a place where it's okay for you to have money. It's okay for you to address your needs. It's okay for you to have a problem with being forced into martyrdom. It's okay for you to refuse to keep giving to people who not only do they not appreciate, but they are now abusing your energy and power. That's okay for you to be pissed. You're not being unspiritual. And anyone who tells you that you are has no idea anything about spirit. I don't care who they quote. And that's the thing. We have this concept of, if you have mastered regurgitation, you're somehow elevated. Why is that? I don't regurgitate shit. I speak from my core. My words are mine. Because part of my function here in this life is to allow whoever has the ears to hear the truth that rises from my soul. Before it rises, before it comes out of my mouth, it's first filtered through my heart, a heart capable of grace and compassion, as well as warfare. Because you will not defile that which is sacred to me. And that too is okay. It's okay to earn a living wage. It's okay to fight for yourself. You are worth the fucking fight. It's okay for you to rise up and have a voice against people who keep trying to oppress you. Just saying. I still here and there fall prey to deliciously delivered words. It takes time, but eventually I realize what I have before me and I walk away. Sometimes it doesn't take much time, but I have my own process. And I go through it with no shame, no hesitation. I understand my soul is guiding me through things, to experience things, to observe things, so I could learn what I need to learn in order to be fully ready to truly step into my role. And there will be people who's like, oh, Emmie's so full of herself. Oh my gosh, she's thinking she's going to be super wealthy. Hey, see me in 5 years on TV. Still be the same person. Still be giving a lot away. That's my destiny. That's my truth. And understanding this, accepting this, acknowledging this, speaking it out into being is not bad, egotistic, or wrong. It's evidence. Evidence that I'm ready to step into my role. It's taken a while. Over 40 years. But I think I'm ready. And regardless of what I think, my soul knows what to do. And there's nothing and no one in this world and beyond it that can override the will of my soul. The will of my soul was handed to it directly from creation. You will not override it. You might inconvenience me. That's what mosquitoes do. That's what flies do. I don't need to concern myself with that. So when you guys begin to really, really take in the things that I'm talking about, the things I'm sharing about myself, you'll begin to recognize it's not just my story. This is our story. When you shed enough of those layers that cause distortions with your vision, you recognize we all share the same story. My story intertwines with yours and yours and yours and yours and yours. That's how we become the fabric of creation. I promise you. When I and those like me, those who made the same promises my soul made, when we are in our rightful place, the world will actually know peace. Money will still exist, but because we control it, it's no issue anymore. Every need is provided for. We return back to a village type setting. That's important because in villages, everyone tends to each other. Everyone makes sure the other has what they need. There's no more comparison or competition. There's just a unified workflow where our needs as a people will be addressed, they will be fulfilled, and we will all have what we need. And this is what I've always known, even as a child. This is why no one ever heard me speak. How scary is it to be an introverted child and to know the world is waiting for your voice? So it starts with recognizing it's not wrong for you to be who you are, that you will make mistakes, that here or there you will find excuses to turn away from yourself. And that's okay. That's a part of your process. I've been through that too. Just like it's okay for me to be able to look back and see how far I've grown by recognizing I used to participate in the very thing I now abhor. I dislike that belief that if you have a gift, it should be given away without having received anything. And it's not a tit for tat type of mentality that I have. If I give you 5 hours of my time with no compensation, I now understand that same energy I put into you for 5 hours, it will be given back to me by creation. Through you, through other people, through money, through support, through whatever the fuck it is, it's going to come back to me. I won't ever go without. The support I gave someone 10 years ago will come back to me now when I need it. The money I gave away, that'll come back to me too. And if it's not gifted to me, I'll work for it. It's not a big deal. If I need more money to give away to more people, that will happen too. It's not a big deal. So allow yourself to really, really soak in all these things that I'm talking about because these are all a part of your truth. Eventually you get to that point where you realize all the bullshit that you've subscribed to is nothing but bullshit. And now it's time to really ferment that bullshit and turn it into fertilizer. Grow yourself from it. Someone told me recently about, I want to say like a year and a half, 2 years ago. She had the nerve to message me. She called me a wounded healer. As though that's an insult. I'm very wounded. To say I'm not is a lie. I'm a living embodiment of truth. I own my wounds. My wounds are the places where my body will heal it through scar tissue. The amount of wounds I have, it's indicative of my living armor. Are you kidding me? All the places where life tried to break me are the places where my light escapes. Those are all the areas that shine the truth of who I am, an unstoppable fucking force that's not going to stop till I reach my rightful place and give back to everybody what was taken from us in the first place. I'm a wounded healer. Fuck yes, I am. The more wounds, the more growth. Don't let people shame you because of your needs, because of your human history. I don't have anyone to impress. If you're not impressed with me now, I don't care. You're still here, aren't you? You're still listening, aren't you? Maybe you're trying to negate what I'm saying in your head, but you're still here, aren't you? So what's that tell me? That maybe even if people don't understand me, I'm still fulfilling some part of my purpose. Even though I've still been afraid to really, really step out there and really, really have some light shown on me and be very, very visible, I'm still showing up. I'm still fulfilling some itty bitty part of my process and my purpose, and that's okay. If I need to take my time, then okay. No one gets to tell you what to do. No one gets to tell you how to feel. No one gets to condemn you for your journey. No one. I don't care who it is. I don't even care if it's a parent. Let your parent have their opinions of you. You don't have to fight what they think. I was talking to my husband about someone recently. It's someone that I knew years ago. And I kind of reconnected with them, I think like a year or two ago. And I reconnected with them on Facebook, and I saw some of their posts. The bichacho in me, the putita in me totally was like, this bitch, she's so full of shit. She's trying to put on a total like fucking, that's not even her. And then my husband brought up a good point. It's been a long time since you've known her. Maybe she's trying to change. And then I realized, you know what, you're right. I knew a version of her when she was much younger and didn't have a life experience, and maybe this is her. And I just haven't gotten acquainted with it yet. Maybe it is her. Maybe I'm over here holding on to a version of her that she no longer is. A version of her that was shed in the time we weren't in contact. How many of you are so close to your parents that they know every single detail of your life? And if they do they give you a hard time about it? Or do they know every single detail because they're so supportive and love you unconditionally? So when even your parent has something negative to say, maybe that has to do with the fact that they still see you as that little child that didn't know any better. And maybe they don't know enough about your life because that's what they created. That's the dynamic that was created. And at that point, it's neither here nor there. It doesn't matter whose fault it was and who did what. And all that matters is how you're moving forward from this. Are you going to walk with your head held high? Or are you going to keep looking at your feet, twiddling your thumbs, blaming someone else? How will you move forward from that? And it's up to you. It's up to you. All of this is up to you. You have the power to really, really dictate how your life goes. And you dictate how your life goes, not just by saying, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have that, or taking. You dictate how your life goes based on the alignment of what's inside. Abundance and manifestation cannot occur without alignment. It is only after alignment that the pathways are opened up, the obstructions are cleared, and the energy flows into that which your soul has determined. Abundance is not a vision board. it can help. But unless you address the internal circumstance that has caused an external effect, you're not going to do nothing. Nothing. All your effort's going to be in vain. Well, but so and so said in their video that if I were to take this course and buy this book, well, you know what? Amazing marketing for them. Amazing. Everyone has a right and obligation to reach for financial success, so long as you're not scamming people or hurting people intentionally. You have a right and an obligation to reach for that because you need to provide for yourself and your family. It doesn't, we don't live here for free. I don't know if y'all are having your rent paid or something. We don't we don't live here for free. Where are you going to get that from? Exactly. So these people, don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. When you reach your rightful place, you'll know exactly what you need to do in this life. You'll know exactly what purpose you're here to fulfill. And as you step into alignment with your truth and your purpose, what happens? We just talked about alignment. Those pathways are aligned and dilated, the obstructions are cleared, and there goes the abundance. There goes the abundance. Without even trying. Just by honoring what your purpose is, without even trying, the abundance flows to you. And abundance is more than just monetary. Abundance is so much more than just money. This is the recognition from people who share the same frequency as you, the same patternings. That means they have the same interests. They say they have the same focus, the same level of integrity, all of that. It arrives. And as it arrives, it empowers you to further reach deeper into your purpose. Like I couldn't reach my purpose as deeply as I have at this point without your presence. I'm not doing this alone. I mean, maybe I should have clarified that. I'm not doing this alone. You guys are present. You guys empower me to keep taking the next step. I mean, for me, that's a given, but I think for most people, that's not. If you think I'm powerful, it's because of your presence. You help me to learn things about myself, about the world, about my purpose. Like, I need you guys present. And that's a thing. That's why we're shoulder to shoulder. We're walking together. If I fall to one side, you're there. If you fall to one side, I'm there. We're there. We're there. We all need each other. This whole, like, I'm just going to get rich and be rich. Like, that's fucking hilarious. What the fuck? I'm just going to get rich and be rich. There's nothing wrong with being rich. But if you think you're going to be an island unto yourself because you have monetary wealth, well, you're going to be very unhappy. You're going to be very unhappy. The people who I know who are wealthy, some of them are very unhappy and feel very alone. And I can understand why. This sense of like people are just going to use me. And that's not uncommon. I don't blame them for feeling that way. There are some who they've learned boundaries. And they've allowed people into their lives while still maintaining those boundaries. And so they have this beautiful balance and they have a happiness because they don't have to worry about finances and they can have people around to enjoy life with. It's all about finding your balance as well. So my laptop's about to die. Laptop is about to die. I got to get going. I hope this talk made sense for you guys. Sorry that the talk earlier ended. Ocean Lover is a beautiful soul. Just such a beautiful soul. And she was sharing details about something. And Soul didn't want anyone else to know. It's just between me and her. It's a beautiful talk. Very, very beautiful talk. Sometimes you meet your soul family and you just know. You don't have to have known them for a very long time or have interacted for a long time. You just know. There's this ease to it, sense of home, a stillness and a peace, this feeling of things being said without words being spoken. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing to find soul family. And they won't find you unless you come out of your cave. That cave you hide in within yourself because you're just so ashamed about how you look to the world. Newsflash. The world is destroying itself right now. That's the last bitch you need to listen to. I'm just saying, like, there's someone you're in, like, I don't know, some sort of, I don't even know what stores are still around. I told you I'm cheap. Ross. Ross. Okay, so you're in Ross, you're trying on clothes, and someone comes past your fitting room and it's like, oh girl, that looks horrible. Bitch, you don't know how to dress either, so why would I listen to you? Hey, if it makes you feel good, rock it. If it makes you feel good, if it makes you feel sexy, rock it. Who cares what other people think? I tell you, my husband, he has always said, you are so sexy. And I remember this was like when we were first dating. We ended up living together and I was cleaning out my closet. And the things that he really loved on me, he saw it on hangers. He's like, what the fuck is this shit? He thought my clothes were crazy. But when they're on me, he's like, but it looks so good on you because I own that shit. I don't know anyone else that can own a crop top that looks like AstroTurf. What did you call it? AstroTurf. It was green and fuzzy and you could just rub on that. It's sexy. And he was like, what is this? From football season? It's sexy. You know what's sexy? You owning it. So own your life. Be sexy. Be a sexy soul. There you go. I gotta go, guys. Battery's gonna die. I love you guys. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me every single time I'm live. Comment. Don't forget the merch, as my son says. Don't forget the merch. Oh, shit. Here we go, guys. Look at this. Hold on. The energy I'm bringing for the rest of 2020. That's right. That's right. So that's it. I'm going to ride this life like a baby on a Roomba. What the fuck is that called? Roomba. Whatever it's called. I'm going to ride life like that. Bye, guys.